Get ready for another microdose. And hey, if this information is jiving with you, then check out the full episode. The link is in the show notes. Enjoy the ride.
Wazoo, why are you sleeping with your mouth taped? Well, I mean, can you tell the audience why, one, why we would be doing that, and then two, what the benefits of doing such are?
So when you want to become a nasal breather, it's easier to do in the daytime than it is to do at night. So in the day, you can think about it, right? Oh, I'm breathing through my mouth. I'm going to close my mouth. I'm going to breathe through my nose. When you're working out, you can force yourself to breathe through your nose. At night, what happens? Your muscles relax. You go unconscious. And so many of us, more than 60% of the population breathes with an open mouth at night. More than 60%. It's probably way more than that. So what can you do about it? And what I had been told is not a lot. And if you look at mouth breathing and snoring and sleep apnea, you can increase, sometimes significantly increase your chances of suffering from both snoring and sleep apnea. Now, to be clear, it depends where that snoring is occurring, where that sleep apnea is occurring. Not everyone will benefit from closing their mouth at night who snores or has sleep apnea. This is not a blanket prescription. But for a lot of people, it makes a huge difference. The reason is that when you close your mouth, right now you can open your mouth, right? And you're going to feel your tongue sort of rocking back into your throat. When you close your mouth, that tongue rocks up to the upper palate, opens your airway. When you breathe through your nose as well, you create more pressure in the airway, which helps to open it so you can breathe more easily. So they used to have, 100 years ago, they sold chin straps to do this. They knew how damaging it was 100 years ago, right? And they had all these different products to close your mouth at night. I wasn't too into the chin strap idea, and I had heard about how taping your mouth at night could be beneficial. I thought this was just complete idiocy. And I went on YouTube and I looked at these videos and it looked even more idiotic. So I discounted everything until I started talking to top researchers in sleep medicine, in speech language pathology, in athletics, and they all have been doing this, some of them for years, and having huge success with their clients and patients. And I think where people get the sleep tape thing wrong is they tend to think like it's a fat strip of duct tape across the mouth or it's several pieces of tape. You don't need that. What I've found is, look at how conveniently I happen to have some right now. I keep a roll next to this desk here because usually people ask me about this, but a size of about the size of a postage stamp. And you can just, this is the technology, you guys. This is the latest, greatest. I'm in San Francisco, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
We have that in New York. We have it in New York.
Disruptive stuff. We are only into digital disruption. So here's a little bit of that. This is it. I can still talk to you. I can still cough. I can still breathe. But when I go unconscious, what does this do?
Keeps your mouth closed.
It keeps my mouth closed. The tape is supposed to come off that easily. Okay. You take it off with your tongue. It comes right off. At any time in the night, if you want it to come off, you just open your mouth. So this is such a simple thing. It seems like it's not going to do anything for many people, but this is the one thing I've heard from literally thousands and thousands of people now that they're no longer snoring. They know they have reduced their sleep apnea or eliminated it. Not for everybody, okay? Some people have problems in the nasopharynx, which this isn't going to do much for. But this is a free hack. You're only going to benefit from nasal breathing, so I figure why not give it a go? And now there's a big study booting up at Stanford with 200 people suffering from sleep apnea, looking at how sleep tape might affect their condition. And there needs to be more science, more studies on this. There's zero money to be made from this, which makes it harder to fund these studies. But this is something that anyone can try out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, on my personal level, I know John, I've been doing it since May. I read the book and I read the tape, reading about the tape in the book. And one thing that really stuck out at me was the vasopressin.
Yeah.
And I felt like this is I've been calling it to my friends and telling people about this is like the camel hormone. It helps us to hold water. You know what I mean? It really does. And that was enough for me. mean, I know John's heart rate variability. The first night he did it, just like spiked,
skyrocketed,
like went up giant, because I feel more hydrated throughout the day. I don't get up at night to go and pee. I feel like also this could be a great way to kind of crush some of the water crisis out there in California. If people stop drinking more water at night and flushing their toilets all evening, right? I mean, just a little hack there maybe. But it's really done. I never feel like I'm ever dehydrated now, because I'm always like, for some reason, after doing this for weeks or months, I just, my skin isn't dry. I'm like, it's amazing just the water retention I'm feeling. And I get a better night's sleep, much deeper sleep, just by putting a simple piece of tape over my mouth.
Yeah,
really amazing.
What's great is this stuff can be measured. This isn't just subjective, right? It's great to say, hey, I feel better doing this. That means something. Right. But as a journalist, it needs to be measured and replicable for it to be legit, at least in my opinion. And we know that you lose 42% more moisture when you're breathing through your mouth. Do that 8 hours a night. What's going to happen? You're going to go to bed every single night with a jug of water like this. That is tea, everybody. Don't get nervous. Which is what I did for decades. And I thought it was normal. Didn't matter if I was in a hotel room. Didn't matter if I was camping. Didn't matter if I was home. I had to go to sleep with this huge thing of water. I would just hit on it all night. I would wake up and hit on it. And if you look at sleep quality, mine was so drastically changed, but I didn't want to put this in the book again, because I didn't want to make the book about me or my experience, because I'm just one person. But my heart rate variability went through the roof when I started mouth taping. And I've heard this from so many people. If you look at deep sleep too, some of the, Oura Ring, Whoop, some of their data isn't super accurate, but it provides a general overview, which I think is very helpful. And, deep sleep can profoundly increase when you're resting better. And we know that you're resting better. You're able to restore better when you breathe through the nose, as long as you don't have obstruction. So the idea that you're not waking up as often, that you wake up with more energy, that you wake up and you're not dehydrated. All of this is measurable.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this journey. Small doses lead to big changes. If you're vibing with this snippet, then take a listen to the full episode by clicking the link in the show notes. If you would like to plug in deeper to what we're doing, head to mentalkingmindfulness.com or text MTM to 33777. Until next time, peace.